Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. BS Physics, Semester 1, Mechanics, Course Code Physics 1103, Chapter 7, Lecture 1 for Chapter 7 and overall 21. The name of article: Work done by constant force and scalar product. I am talking to you, Rashmat Ali, Assistant Professor of Physics, Khaja Fareed Government Postgraduate College, Premier Khan. The material of this lecture has been taken from the outlines of syllabus as provided by the university. The first book is Physics for Scientists and Engineers by Survey Javed, and the second book is The Fundamental Physics by Halliday and Resnick by Gerald Walker. First of all, the main title page of this chapter is the windmill. We can see this is related to energy. The main contents of this chapter, this lecture, basically the main two articles and some introduction about the energy. Energy and energy transformation is the chapter name. So, energy and its importance, work and work done by constant force, and finally the scalar product. So dear students, first we will know about the concept of energy, then we proceed with the further lecture. The typical definition of the energy is the capacity of a body to do work. If a body is able to do some work, it means it must have an energy. So, energy is present in universe. All the activities in the universe, whether these are on the heavenly basis or micro or even smaller or even larger size, all type of activities are served by the energy. But these energies exist in various forms. Energy is involved in everyday physical activities, processes. All the activities of universe are the energy transformations. In any activity, energy is transferred from one form to another form. As we have seen the diagram here, the wind energy is going to be transferred into the electrical energy. So all the activities in the universe are taken place. Basically, they are the energy transformations. The concept of energy can be applied to the dynamics of mechanical system. Conservation of energy can also help to solve many physical problems. Problem-solving techniques involve different models. So, here we are going to discuss the two models. One model is the particle model. That is, any object under consideration which is helpful in energy transformation, we consider it as a particle. So this will be called as a particle model. Another is many particles combine together to form a system. If a system is involved, that system consists of two or more than two particles, then it is called system model. So, a small touch about the system and the environment. Anything that under consideration is called a system. In other words, we can also define the collection of matter which has distinct boundary is called system. What may the valid system? A room, a football, even our earth is a system. What may be the valid system? A valid system may be a single project or particle. A valid system may be a collection of objects or particles. A valid system may be the region of space, any region. For example, the interior of an automobile engine, combustion cylinder, combustion chamber. A system may be a house, institution, or it may be a room, or even a small cabin, even a small atom. Fourth one, a valid system vary in size and shape. That's maybe it may be a rubber ball which deforms upon striking a wall, maybe a spring which can be compressed or extended. So these are all the mechanical systems. Other term is related to system is environment. Everything around us, around a system, is called environment. It influences the system. It affects the system. So, the first article of this lecture is the work, and work is conditioned form, that is work done by constant force and the work done by variable force. So first of all, we will define a work. We know about the work definition in the previous classes, junior classes. Work is denoted by capital W on a system by an agent who is doing the work, exerting a constant force on the system, is the product of magnitude of force, F of the force, and magnitude delta R of the displacement of the point of application of force, and the cos theta, where theta is the angle between the force and the displacement vectors. So, by formula, we can write the work W is equal to F delta R cos theta multiplied by 3 quantities, parameters. This figure shown to us shows that somebody is applying a force on weight lifting. If he is moving, traveling a distance, then we can say that he is doing work. If force is applicable on it and no displacement is traveled by a person, no work will be done by the definition. If we see the diagram, we see a box, a force F is acting on the box that makes an angle theta with a horizontal, and the box moves to a new position That is, we can see the dotted lines box. The displacement covered is delta r. This is vector form. So work will be done. The product of F cos theta, we resolve the force into components. One is the horizontal component, another is vertical component. Horizontal component contains F cos theta and vertical component contains F sin theta. Vertical component of force is not shown here. We see that the horizontal component F cos theta and the displacement delta r are in the both direction. We can say, in other words, when force acting and displacement are in the same direction, then work is said to be done. This is the mathematical relation. We see from the formula, basically there are three parameters, variables, quantities, which define the work. So, according to formula, if force is 0, leaving the other factors, then understood work will be 0. If, say, force is not 0, some agency is applying a force, but delta R is 0, no displacement is covered. As we've seen the figure, a man is lifting a weight. If delta R will be 0, so no work will be done. So we can see, when delta R is 0, then work will be 0. The third case, if F is not 0, means F is acting on the body, and delta R is also not 0, means displacement is also covered, then work then depends upon the angle theta between force and displacement. So if theta is 0 degree, in other words, force vector is parallel to delta R vector, then angle will be 0. If we put the angle 0, cos 0 is equal to 1. So we will get the work done F delta R equal to, this work will be the positive and also maximum, and depends only on the force and delta R. As much maximum the force and delta R, more will be the work done. It means that work done by the body is the positive. When theta is equal to 90 degree, the second case of the angle theta, or in other words, F force is perpendicular to delta R, then work done will be 0, because angle 90 and cos 90 is equal to 0, so work done will be 0. No work, it means that no work is done here. The third case, for angle, if theta is equal to 180 degree, or F is anti-parallel to delta R, then work will be minus delta F delta R, that is negative maximum work, or we can say that minimum work. Some more information about the work done. Work is a scalar quantity, so it has no direction. In daily life, when we account a work, we don't need any direction. The SI unit of work is joule. One joule, according to the maximum work done, F delta R, 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton, 1 meter. and dimension of work is square brackets. We can solve it from the dimension of force and delta R. Finally, the result is m power 1 L square and T inverse cube. In the CGS system, the unit of work is erg, and 1 erg is equal to 1 dyne multiplied by 1 centimeter. We can define joule or erg when a force of 1 Newton acts on a body and covers a displacement of 1 meter in the direction of force, then work is said to be 1 joule. Similarly, when a force of 1 dyne acts on a body and the body covers a displacement of 1 centimeter in the direction of force, then the work is said to be 1 erg. Joule and erg are the two units for the two systems. They have a correlation. We can say 1 joule is equal to 10 raised to power 7 erg. We can prove it by putting the value of joule as joule is equal to 1 Newton, 1 meter, and 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to power 5 dynes, and 1 meter is equal to 10 raised to power 2 centimeters. Combine two powers, we get the 10 raised to power 7, and combine the two units dyne and centimeter. We get the unit erg. Basically, the concept of work is taken as energy transfer. That is, if work is positive, work is done by the system, so energy is transferred, and vice versa. So, this is the work done by constant force. The two figures shown here, the second figure is the body, and N is the normal to the body surface. W is mg is the weight acting downward. Delta R is the displacement, and the thick arrow shows the direction of motion of a body. Here, the normal reaction N balances the weight, and F inclined at an angle theta with the delta R or horizontal does some work. So, the next article is the scalar product. A small introduction, but even it's a long question, we can define it as if product of two vectors results in a scalar quantity, then this product is called a scalar product. Let's say we have two vectors A and B. Symbolically, we can write it as A dot B and read as vector A dot vector B. Dot product, that's why we call it a dot product also. The mathematical definition is A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. In further, we will study the dot product of two vectors is equal to magnitude of first vector and magnitude of component of second vector along the first vector. So from figure we can see vector A is in horizontal position, vector B is making some angle theta with the A. In this case we can resolve the vector, second vector. One component will be along the A, another will be perpendicular to A. So work will be done by the horizontal component. We see that theta is the angle between A and B, two vectors. In del F examples, work done is one example as we have studied above, but we have not shown there a dot. Simple product we have shown there. W is equal to F dot D. Another example is power P capital, that is equal to F dot V EDC. There are also so many examples in physics of this scalar product. Now we will study about the characteristics. Dear students, just know these characteristics we have studied in the FSC first year book. So first characteristic is the scalar product is commutative. Commutative means exchangeable. In other words, we can say that if there are two vectors A and B, take the product, dot product, scalar product A dot B, then change their order B dot A, both have basically same result. In other words, we can say that scalar product is commutative. This characteristic or property can be proved. So the second property, for two parallel vectors, if they are two vectors and the same direction, they will be parallel, then A dot B equal to only AB, because if two vectors are parallel, means the angle between them is 0 degree and cos 0 degree is 1. So we can say that the scalar product A dot B is maximum positive. We can apply this scalar product on the unit vectors. Every unit vector is parallel to itself, means I is parallel to I cap, J is parallel to J cap, and K is parallel to K cap. Since we take the benefit of definition, I dot I equal to I magnitude, then I magnitude, then cos 0 degree. Cos 0 is 1. I magnitude is a unit vector, its magnitude is also 1, and other I unit vector has magnitude 1. If we multiply all the unit vectors, then it will become equal to 1. If two vectors are perpendicular, means angle between the two vectors is 90 degree, then their product will be A dot B equal to 0, that is minimum, 0 minimum, because cos 90 is 0. So if we apply this result on unit vectors, three unit vectors I, J, K basically are mutually perpendicular to each other. So if we take single example, I dot j means magnitude of I unit vector and magnitude of j unit vector multiplied by cos 90 degree. Cos 90 becomes 0. So unit vector magnitude is 1, 1. This again multiplies by 0. The result will be 0. Similarly, for the other vectors, the result will be 0. We can see here. This is the 0 result. For two anti-parallel vectors, the angle between two anti-parallel vectors is 180 degree, and cos 180 degree is equal to minus 1. So we see that A dot B is equal to minus AB. That is the minus negative maximum. If we multiply a vector by itself, this will be the self-scalar product. And self-scalar product results into the square of its own magnitude. A dot A equal to A square. So, in rectangular components, A dot B equal to AX. If we take the multiplication, vector A in rectangular components is AXI plus AYJ cap plus AZK cap. And similarly, the B vector is BXI cap plus BYJ cap plus BZK cap. If we multiply them after necessary operations, we see that the result of scalar product in rectangular components, this appears as the sum of terms, sum of the corresponding products of each component of each vector. Now, another property, if we are given the two vectors in rectangular component, then we can also find the angle between them by the relation. The theta would be equal to cos inverse the two vectors divided by their magnitudes. Two vectors products shown above and magnitude of each vector is shown as a denominator. So, if two vectors are equal, then we can see the A dot B, A dot A, as we have replaced B by A vector, then we get the result AX square plus AY square plus AZ square, that is equal to square of its magnitude. Finally, the scalar product obeys the distributive law of multiplication. So A dot B, these vectors are shown in the boldface. A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. Thanks for listening and focusing with patience. Allah bless you all. Allah Hafiz.